What do you get when you mix a tropical vacation, a crashed plane, a secret military project, and a dose of cartoon comedy? In today's review, we're diving into Runaway 2: The Dream of the Turtle, a 2006 graphic adventure game by Pendulum Studios. This sequel to the cult hit Runaway, a road adventure, takes protagonists Brian Basco and Gina Timmons from a sunny Hawaii getaway into a whirlwind of conspiracies and crazy hijinks. Is this point-and-click adventure a dream come true or a total disaster? Let's find out as we break down the story, gameplay, graphics, and sound design of Runaway 2. Runaway 2's story kicks off with a bang. Literally. Brainy hero Brian and his girlfriend Gina are flying over Hawaii when their plane crashes on a remote island. Brian shoves Gina out with a parachute moments before impact, but she is tranquilized mid-air and lands safely in a lake. A detail Brian is unaware of, and he survives the crash landing alone in the jungle. From there, things only get more outrageous. The island is promptly occupied by the US military under martial law, and Brian stumbles into a top-secret plot involving a lost UFO and an advanced alien race's technology. To rescue Gina and uncover the truth, Brian teams up with a zany cast of characters, from his nerdy pal Joshua, who believes he's an alien, to island barmaid Lokalani and other eccentric friends. The tone is firmly tongue-in-cheek. Pendulum Studios clearly aimed for an off-the-wall vibe in the tradition of LucasArts classics like Maniac Mansion and Day of the Tentacle. The dialogue is filled with pop culture references, innuendo, and offbeat humor. You'll see babes in bikinis intended to titillate in a very teen-friendly way. Runaway 2 doesn't shy away from PG-13 cheekiness. This sometimes veers into juvenile territory, with jokes delivered in a nudge-nudge-wink style that might make older players groan. There are also some questionable stereotypes in the mix, which could be off-putting to some players. Still, the Dream of the Turtle plot has its charms. It's a globe-trotting adventure spanning exotic locales, from lush Pacific islands to frozen Alaskan cabins to even a pirate shipwreck. This variety gives you the sense of embarking on a grand journey. Fans of Monkey Island will catch cheeky nods, like a running gag about a rubber chicken with a pulley, or Brian jokingly calling himself Brushian, a wink at Guybrush Threepwood on a pirate ship. It's clear the writers have a lot of love for the genre's classics, and that nostalgic spirit shines through. One thing to note is that Runaway 2 doesn't wrap up its story in this installment. It ends on a cliffhanger leading into the next game. After about a dozen hours of comic misadventures, the finale leaves several threads unresolved and basically says, "To be continued." Some players found this abrupt ending a letdown after investing so much time. Even Pendulum's own writer, Josue Mon-chan, later admitted Runaway 2 was the weakest in the trilogy, which led to a rethinking of their approach for Runaway, A Twist of Fate. So don't expect every mystery to be solved by the time the credits roll. The story continues in Runaway, A Twist of Fate. If you've played point-and-click adventures, Runaway 2 will feel immediately familiar. You control Brian, explore environments, pick up everything that isn't nailed down, and use those odd items to solve puzzles. The interface is simple and user-friendly. Your cursor changes to indicate actions, an exit arrow, a magnifying glass for examine, etc., and managing your inventory is straightforward. In short, it's classic adventure gameplay, with no radical surprises. It sticks to conventional mechanics and proudly waves the flag of 1990s point-and-click design. The puzzle design is a mixed bag. Some puzzles follow a zany, yet logical internal logic. Once you think in Runaway's bizarre terms, solutions make a twisted kind of sense. However, Runaway 2 also piles on the frustration in places. Some puzzles are notoriously unintuitive or overly convoluted, requiring a series of fiddly steps even after you've figured out the basic idea. There's also heavy linearity. Tasks often need to be completed in a specific order, though there is some flexibility within chapters. Certain actions won't work until you've triggered key conversations or events, which can sometimes lead to confusion. Missing one dialogue option can leave you stumped, which is frustrating when the solution itself isn't the issue, but rather the game's flagging of it. For fans who enjoy a challenge, these difficulties might be part of the appeal. Even seasoned adventure gamers will likely get stuck and resort to creative trial and error, or hints, at times. Thankfully, you can't make the game unwinnable or die randomly. A mercy Sierra games of old didn't always grant. Chapters limit how many locations and items you need to juggle at once, keeping backtracking manageable despite the lengthy quest. Visually, Runaway 2, The Dream of the Turtle, knocks it out of the park. The art style is vibrant and colorful, with hand-drawn 2D backgrounds that look like scenes from an animated film. Characters are cel-shaded in 3D, blending well with the cartoon-styled backdrops while maintaining fluid movement. The result is an aesthetic reminiscent of a high-quality Saturday morning cartoon. The environments are varied and detailed, making exploration enjoyable. The soundtrack features a mix of cinematic orchestral pieces during cutscenes, alongside upbeat pop rock and electronic tunes. The music fits the game's teen adventure mood, though it might not be for everyone. Sound effects are well done, and the voice acting is lively, with performances that match the over-the-top style. Some characters, like Joshua, have exaggerated voices that might grate on some players, but the overall voice work brings energy to the game. Runaway 2, The Dream of the Turtle is a true throwback for adventure game fans. It delivers a colorful, zany journey that feels like an interactive cartoon, for better and for worse. Its vibrant graphics, diverse locales, and nostalgic point-and-click gameplay can spark joy for anyone who loves the classics. However, its flaws are hard to ignore. The puzzle design sometimes overcomplicates things. The humor oscillates between genuinely funny and eye-rollingly cheesy, and the narrative ultimately leaves you hanging mid-story. In the end, Runaway 2 is a fun but flawed adventure that earns a solid 7 out of 10. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more game reviews. Let me know your thoughts on Runaway 2 in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.